Virgo.
Hello Virgo, this is your astrological forecast for March 2016, and it's a special month because we have a total solar eclipse and we have a partial lunar eclipse, but also we have a long list of transits, a lot of action taking place here this month as opposed to February, which was more like catching the wave and then surfing it. It was a nice month there in February, but we got action here in March. So let's start out with your sun. The sun is passing through the relationship area of your chart, the 7th house. So this allows you and your energy to really kind of come through here with your partner. If you're married, that will, of course involve your significant other. If you're single, well, then it could be a new person that could show up this month. And in that case, it could hold a very long-term type of energy tagged onto it. So yeah, that can be quite exciting for you. Neptune is also in this area, which is transiting over a very long period of time. We've been talking about it in the past, and we try to touch a little bit on it, but not too much, so it sounds repetitive. But you're really on a long term working towards the ideal, really finding the spiritual connection with whomever it is that you're close with, whether it is a significant other or anybody that you work closely one-on-one with. It's really finding that there's a karmic type spiritual attunement with those that you're attracting into your life these days. We have Mercury and Venus. They are transiting through the sign of Aquarius, and Aquarius helps us think outside of the box, think in new terms, something that's exciting. Think about Uranus, that's like a Pandora's box. We never know what we get. And so Uranus can show up when we expect it the least. So right now it's coloring our way of thinking and communicating, which is Mercury, but also the way that we express our emotions, which is Venus. Love and romance might just want to take on a little bit more of a colorful term here in March, and also it's in your 6th house, both of them, and they have to do with your day-to-day approach to life. Whether it is your schedules, you might be redoing and looking at how you can actually spiff things up a little bit so you can work more efficiently in the future. You know, when these planets pass through here, which happens once a year, it kind of allows us to kind of like weed out and start fresh and set things straight so that we have all our ducks in a row so that we can work that much more efficiently in the future. Mars is still in the sign of Scorpio, which it has been there since late January, that through that of February. So you have the first week here to kind of like finalize those things that you have been working on here. Mars in Scorpio is very deep. It's also passionate. Think about the Scorpion energy. And since it's in your 3rd house for communication, you might have found out or seen that things have surfaced, been disclosed, things that you normally hold very close to heart. Think about Scorpio being very private, very secretive, right? But when Mars is here, it's kind of like kicking up the dust. So you might have been hearing a whole lot more about other people's secrets, or you might have been sharing them. 3rd house communicates, it shares. Or some of you who like writing, you might have been writing a whole lot more this month, just to kind of get things out and vented a little bit. But after the first week of March, Mars will be moving into your 4th house, and that will give you a drive and a focus on home and family matters, maybe catching up on projects that you've been procrastinating for a while, just putting, on the back burner. And when Mars goes into the 4th house, which it does once every 2 years, that's when we have one of those major cleanups where we just really get everything, all our ducks in a row, and we feel happy about it. Why? Not only because the projects get done, but you get to clear things out too that you've been noticing and seeing, but not really doing much about, so we get to clear out that energy as well. The fourth house is also family here, Virgo. So when Mars is present, you might have more interaction with family, whether it's parents or siblings. But yeah, home and real estate could come in, so it's a good time to buy or sell and get on top of those matters, and especially also because Saturn is here. And Saturn has been here in 2015, cruising through. We're halfway through the sign right now, and so some of you have had more interaction with one or both of your parents. Saturn represents our parents, that might have needed a little bit more of your attention, and so forth. And so I see how you're laying grounds for security too. That's what Saturn does. It locks things in to secure it in a good way. Jupiter in your first house, that is you, in your sign. And of course, some of you have now been seeing how Jupiter has been bestowing upon you a lot of beautiful things. Think about Jupiter being generous, right, and giving. Now it's currently retrograde, which it will be until May 10th. So that is a time where things might be brought up from the past. Maybe some opportunities that came and went without you acting upon it, they may resurface now. So here throughout March, that of April too, just, be aware so that you can spot them. Because when they reappear, it's okay to act upon it, because these potentials were already from the past. So retrograde doesn't matter in that sense. You might feel that there's aspects that you're expanding within your personality. The first house is all about how you portray yourself out to the outer world. And so you might have been already receiving some great feedback on that, how people can see how you're radiating, you're shining, you're optimistic. Think about Jupiter always being very enthusiastic about everything that it does. So that is wonderful for you. But then we also have Uranus and Pluto, just to touch upon these outer planets. Uranus is in your 8th house. You're changing up things, the way that you're sharing with your partner. And Pluto, the point of transformation, where we go into that nitty-gritty core within our consciousness. And Pluto for you is in the area of the 5th house: creativity, self-expression, romance, your children as well. So you can come to see here that, especially for those of you who have your own business, might feel that you're super focused. Pluto really holds us to the core of what it is we're trying to transform. So yes, your businesses can grow incredibly here, especially when you have the Plutonian aspects, and we've got a great one coming up this month with Jupiter, who we'll talk about a little bit more. That's a door opener, and this is when Pluto can really do its magic. We love Pluto for that reason, because it will take something and totally shut down that old so that the new can emerge, where we come out with a new sense of empowerment, strength, and it's magic. So if we start off top of the month here, Virgo, we have Venus and Uranus. They are sextile. That is matters of love, the unexpected coming in here with Uranus, which really loves to put some color into your life. Uranus loves to explore. It's unconventional. So you might be feeling within the areas of romance that this might just surface here on this day. Then on the 6th and the 8th, the Sun is really now receiving some aspects. First from Saturn, then Pluto, and then Jupiter. So these 2 days, you're really going to be looking at things that are going to be presented to you. Do you want to go for it, or do you want to think about it? You don't necessarily need to act on it right now, and I would say wait if you can. But listen to and watch what is being presented to you, because why? These decisions are really going to start changing up your life. There's a lot of communication coming up mid-month there on the 14th and the 15th when Mercury is going to be questioning these situations, just so that you can derive more information, whether you want to move forward on a specific thing. And let's talk about specifics. Mercury is going to square off on Saturn. For you, that will be the 7th house and the 4th house. So it has to do with home, family, relationship. Are you going to want to take it this direction or that? When we don't know, we don't act, right? We wait for the green light. That's on the 14th. And we also have Venus and Mars being square. That's you and your partner. Or it's your money and somebody else, maybe wanting some of that money. For you, that will be between the 3rd house and the 6th house. So communication about where you want that money to go in healthy ways. The 6th house is also how you think, how you analyze. So when they're square, it's not really a good time to act, but it is a great time to start digging in, find your questions, do your research. Mercury will help you. Why? Because Mercury is going to be super loaded here with focus, since it has a great aspect from Pluto on the 15th, and it will give you some oversight, overview, also from Jupiter. Mercury will be opposing Jupiter, giving you the other side of information, so that you're going to be feeling more balanced. So by the 16th, if you can hang into the 16th with whatever is going on there, you will have it made. That's when Jupiter is going to come in to benefit you and expand your whole area. This is between the 1st house and Pluto in the 5th house. So that's, a lot of luck is what comes from the 5th. And Jupiter is already luck there for your personality in the 1st. So with this trine on the 16th, I feel it's a time that you can smile, you can celebrate, and feel that you got the information that you needed. And on the 20th, when Venus touches upon Neptune in that 7th house, time to celebrate. When Venus and Neptune get together, it's also highly romantic. Venus ruling love, Neptune the higher aspect of love. When they conjunct and do the dance, well, definitely, some of you, might even come to have a proposal of marriage, or making up some plans of where you're at, some commitment together that you want to do for the future. Whatever it is for you individually, it is a beautiful day, March 20th. Then we have the 24th here, Virgo. Mercury is in line with Mars. Mercury, your communication, the way you think. Mars, action, drive, passion. When they're trying, that means that you're being heard of whatever it is now that you're singling out your goal. And you might also receive some great information here from someone that can really open up a door for you. Mars right now is in the home area, so it could be somebody here, a relative, that might feel like they want to make some kind of agreement with you. On the 25th, Venus and Jupiter are opposing one another, and so that's money, it's love, it's romance. Jupiter is trying to get a higher view upon, an overview, if you wish, on giving some, should I say, balance between you and your partner, because you're wanting to expand. Your partner is over here in the 7th house, and it's really interesting to listen to where he or she is coming from, because why? You can come in with that Pluto and empower it. So the balance between these two, even though they're in opposition, doesn't necessarily mean a negative thing. It means balancing out the scales, finding where you belong together, and then growing from there in your outmost goal, should I say, your higher goal. On the 26th, it's empowering it, because what you had there with this Venus-Jupiter, well, the Sun, which is you, is now trining Mars. Mars is taking action, saying, we got the green light. This is a power day for you. And not just with the Sun and Mars, but we have Venus and Pluto coming together in a sextile. Venus is love, Pluto's passion, Venus is money, Pluto is big money. So So here you have a green light. So if you've been applying for a loan, this should be the day that you would get a green light and a big yes. If you have been working through all these decisions here earlier in the month, say for getting a promotion or a raise, well, these will be the days that you should be getting a green light for it. If you've been working through decisions within your relationship area, well then this should be the days for you actually feeling that the door is opening up for both of you. This is just absolutely beautiful and allowing you to transit now throughout the rest of the month here by making good, solid decisions. This is Mercury and Saturn, also in a trine on the 29th. Putting your name to paper would be great to do so at this time. Mercury will be scoring off on Pluto on the 30th, which means you've just opened up and signed or agreed to something that you now can let go of what was earlier in the month. And on the 31st, well, here's the universe giving you a beautiful surprise. Mercury is news and Uranus is the unexpected. And since we have Uranus in the 8th house, we can expect that news to be about something you have shared with either a partner, it could be a business partner, it could be a husband, wife, it could also be maybe some financial institution or investments. So the 31st, it should bring good news, unexpectedly too. And then of course, you know, the solar eclipse, new beginnings here. That solar eclipse for you will be in your 7th house, really speeding things up for your relationships. And the partial lunar eclipse will be there at the full moon on March 23rd. That will be in the 2nd house of your income. But more on that, on the specials that I'll create for the solar eclipses, the lunar eclipse as well. But do listen to your tarot reading to see what March can bring to you in that matter. So I will see you there in April, and have a beautiful March now.